Nok had recently returned to her rural village to care for her ailing grandmother. Life in the countryside was peaceful, but they were strange. Long distance superstition in the village that Nok could never fully understand. One such superstition involved a warning to avoid going out after dark, especially near the river. Her grandmother, barely able to speak, has whispered to her, "Stay inside at night. The Krasue will come if you are not careful." Nok had heard tell of the Krasue, a ghostly figure of a woman whose head detached from her body at night, floating around with her entrails dangling beneath her. Supposedly, the Krasue haunted the villages in search of food, like rotten flesh, blood, or sometimes even newborn animals. She would always thought it was just a story to scare the children, but her grandmother's desperate look made her feel uneasy. One night, as Nok sat by the window reading, she noticed a faint, eerie glow near the river. She peered closer, squinting to see what it was. It looked like a lantern hovering above the ground. But as she watched, the light slowly began to rise, illuminating a face, woman's face, twisted with hunger and desperation, floating eerily at night. Her heart froze. She realized it was staring into the eye of Picasso. Dicker's face was twisted with a grim smile, her eyes hollow and sunken, her lips cracked and red with dry blood. Beneath her head, no could see her organs, a tangled mass, glowing faintly in the darkness. The sight made her stomach churn. She ducked down, hiding behind the window frame, hoping the creature hadn't seen her. But as she peeked out again, the Krasue was gone. Her heart pounding as she looked around, scanning the darkness outside. Just as she thought she was safe, her sobs, rasping sound echoed through the night. A sound of someone gasping for air came closer to the house. She realized with horror that the Krasue was coming toward her window. Her twisted look of reverence, anticipation. Note quickly shut the window and pulled the curtains, but she could still hear the Krasue, the bird breathing outside, hovering just beyond the thin wall of her grandmother's old wooden house. The next morning, Note told her neighbor, Manim, about the terrifying sighting. Manim, an old villager, knew everything about rumor and superstition, nodded grimly. "You must be careful, child," Manim said. The Krasue often cursed a woman of the village, trapped her to transform into the spirit at night. It's possible that the Krasue you saw was once a villager, maybe even someone we know. The words sent a chill down Nook's spine. She heard stories of Krasue curse passed down through generations. Each host cursed to detach and roam in search of flesh, trapped in endless circle of hunger. Manim told her that the only way to stop Krasue was to find the host during the day, when she appeared normal, her head attached, and confront her. But how could Nook possibly know who it was? Over the following days, Nook grew suspicious of everyone she encountered. There was the shy, reclusive woman who lived by the river, who always seems to avoid eye contact. Then there was Metim, who never came out in daylight and was seen as a loner by the villagers. Nook kept her guard up, knowing any one of them could be the host of the Krasue. One night, just as Nook was about to fall asleep, she heard a faint, eerie sound and a glow outside of her window again. She peeked through the crack in the curtain and saw the Krasue head floating by, her entrails swinging like an ornament. But this time, the spirit stopped and turned towards her house, its eyes fixed directly on her window. It dripped closer, and Nook could hear the sound of a wet and labored breath as it hovered just outside. Terrified, she stayed inside and prayed for the dawn. At the dawn, Nook knows she has to act. She suspects Metim, the reclusive woman who always avoided other villagers, and decides to confront her. With a heart full of fear and determination, she walked to Metim's small, run-down house at the edge of the village. Metim answered the door and her skin looked pale with the tired eyes. Nook hesitated, unsure how to start, but finally burst out. "Are you Krasue?" Metim's face twisted with anger and shame, but she cannot deny it. "It wasn't my choice," she whispered, and her voice shaking. "I was cursed long ago, forced to roam as the Krasue every night. I tried to stay my way from people, but hunger is just unbearable." Nook took a step back, both terrified and sad. "Can you stop it? Can the curse be broken somehow?" Metim shook her head. "The curse can be lifted if I'm destroyed, or if it got passed to someone. But either of that would end my life. I don't want to hurt anyone, but my hunger just grows stronger and stronger every night." After hearing the answer, Nook's scared, but she knows she can't do anything. So she goes back to her home. That night, she decides to stay up, unsure of what to do. She knows that Metim was suffering, but the Krasue posed a danger to the entire village. As she sat by the window, lost in thought, she saw a familiar early crow drifting toward her house once more. This time, the Krasue was closer than ever. Her face filled with ravenous desperation, her eyes locked onto Nook's window as if drawn to her very soul. The Krasue floated up to the window, pressing her face against the glass, her cracked lips stretching into the twisted smile. Nook knew that despite Metim's attempt to resist, the hunger would soon overcome her. And as she watched the Kasu's horrifying face outside her window, Nook made a decision. She grabbed a handful of salt, an old folk remedy for repelling spirits, and threw it out the window. The Kasu shrieked, retreating into the darkness, as her voice filled with fury and pain. The village was quiet for a few days, and Nook thought perhaps Krasue was gone for good. However, on the next moonful, Yergo returned, drifting silently through the village. Nook knew that the curse has never truly broke, that as long as the Krasue exists, it would continue to haunt their village. Always hungry, always lurking in the shadows. However, she can't do anything. And every night, when the moon was high, Nook would see a faint glow near the river. and hear the Krasue's soft gasping breath outside her window, reminding her that the curse never die.